Sarah.
Hi Aura.
What are you doing here? Your face so tired.
I'm so confused about game theory assignment in our class before.
Oh, I see. Maybe I can help you to search this assignment together. Maybe we can search from YouTube or from Google for this assignment.
Yeah, that's good idea. Let's search the video first from YouTube.
I think this is a good video for our assignment. Maybe we can play together.
Let's do it.
Hello everyone, I'm Putri Aryani. In this video, I will introduce you guys about game theory and Nash equilibrium. Okay, let's start with definition of game theory. Game theory is a framework for understanding choice in situation among competing players. In game theory can help players to reach optimal decision making when confronted by independent and competing action in strategic setting. Okay, after we understand about definition of game theory, we can know what are the games being played in game theory. The answer is the games may involve how two competitor firm will react to price cut by the other. If a firm should acquire another, or how trader in stock market may react price changes. In theoretical terms, the games may be categorized as similar to Prisoner Dilemma, the Detector games, the Hulk and Dove, and the Battle of Sexes, among several other variations. Now, we can know how game theory works. The game identifies the player's identity, preference, and availability strategy and how the strategy affects the outcomes. Depending on the model, various other requirements or assumptions may be necessary. Now we can understand what does Prisoner Dilemma teach us. The Prisoner Dilemma shows that simple cooperation not always one best interest. In fact, when shopping for a big ticket item such as car, beginning of preferred course of action for customer point of view. Okay, now we move to Nash equilibrium. Definition of Nash equilibrium is a situation in which player will continue with their chosen strategy, having no incentive to deviate from it, after taking into consideration the opponent's strategy. After we understand about definition Nash equilibrium, we can answer how can business use game theory as they compete with other. Okay, the businesses can use cornet competition. For example, in economic model describing an industry structure in which rival companies offering an identical product compete on amount of output they produce independently and at the same time. It is effectively a prisoner games dilemma. Okay, that's all my explanation for this video. See you in the next video guys. Bye bye.
Oh, that's a good video. Now I understand about game theory.
But Sarah, I think this is not enough for finish it our assignment. Maybe we can search more video.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hi, my name is Yasmin and I will explain to you briefly about game theory. So, game theory definition refers to a theoretical framework simplifying social interactions between multiple players that competing with each other. It helps to address issues with cooperating or conflicting participants that having the ability to make rational choice. So, there are 5 types of game theory and I will explain to you one by one. So first is cooperative and non-cooperative types. This analysis involves studying how players form binding agreements and allocate payoff between themselves. A non-cooperative game studies how rational individual players decide their strategy to fulfill their objectives. So the second type is symmetric and asymmetric. In the case of symmetric games, the payoff depends on each player's strategy. Conversely, in asymmetric game settings, the payoffs vary among the players. The payoff will differ if all players choose an identical strategy. The third is simultaneous and sequential. A game where players make a decision without knowing other players' decisions, or all players make their decision simultaneously, where it is called a simultaneous game. In sequential games, players are aware of the other players' decisions or they take turns to decide. The fourth is zero-sum and non-zero-sum. In zero-sum games, a participant gains or loses balance other participants gains or loses. Contrary to the zero-sum game setting, a player's gains or loses do not result in other players' gains or loses in a non-zero-sum game. And for the last types is perfect information and imperfect information. All participants have access to the same information in a perfect information setting. Therefore, they make their decision based on the data. However, in an imperfect information rule set, the data available to one player is unavailable to other players. So, if you ask, when should game theory be used in a situation? One can use this theory in any situation involving a minimum of two players with quantifiable results and specific rules. The concept helps participants to identify the most probable outcomes while considering other participants' decisions and actions affecting the consequence. In game theory, a pure strategy completely defines how a participant will play a game. One can think of it as a plan contingent on the observation made during the game. Specifically, it determines a player's move for any scenario they may face. And if you don't know, Nash equilibrium is also related to the game theory. This is about a decision-making theorem in game theory stating that a participant can get desired result by not drifting from their original strategy. According to Nash equilibrium, every participant's strategy is optimal while considering other players' decisions. And for the last, what is dominant strategy in game theory? So, it is a player's optimal strategy among different strategy sets, irrespective of how other participants act. So, that's a brief explanation of game theory. If you want to know more, you can watch video game theory explanation in part 2. Thank you!
I think this is a good video too for our assignment.
Okay, Sarah, I think that's a good video too, but I think for today is enough. Maybe we can continue tomorrow. Hi, Sarah.
Hi Aura.
Are you done with your assignment?
Yes, but it's not complete because we have to discuss about the case of the game theory.
Oh, I see. I think maybe we can search in Google.
Okay.
Let's search together. So I think for this case, as we can see, this is tell us about the thief case. In this case, they tell us about a thief case involving two suspects in which there were no other witnesses. In this case, the parties involved in the thief have 3 points. For the point 1, they tell us about if they choose to remain silent and confess, party A and party B will each receive 1 year in prison, and then total sentence is 2 years. One party confesses while the other does not, then party A will be released, and then while party B gets 5 years in prison, and then the total sentence in 5 years.
Also, both parties confess against each other. Party A and Party B will each receive 3 years in prison. The total sentence is 6 years. From this, it can be seen that if Party A praises Party B or vice versa, then the length of personal sentence he gets will be more favorable, 0 years in prison, with a total sentence of 5 years in prison. However, if they work together and decided not to make fun of each other, then the total collective punishment obtained will be much more profitable, namely 2 years in prison. This is the so-called prisoner's dilemma.
So I think this is a good case. So maybe you can put it on your assignment, and after that you can finish it and let's collect to